What's going on, guys? NAOQ it's begun. It's been going on for a little bit, and I wanted to cover some of the games and just kind of get a feeling of how these teams are shaping up, how these players are doing, who seems interesting, and overall just give some coverage towards the development side of NA because that's what I've done for ages. I haven't done it that much in the past year, but I will be doing a little bit more. So, this game, we have pretty much Moose Hater, Dio King, and friends, Wixie as well, versus the illustrious, the expected, qualifier, or like towards the top of qualifiers, Philip, Armeo, Bradley, Instinct, Trevor. Four of these guys literally should play in NACL probably. They've been playing in NACL, so the idea of them not being able to qualify or do poorly would be unexpected. And the other guys, honestly, they've played in NACL, they've had varied success, but there's always been this kind of like unique, I don't know, like intangible thing, like ideas that they have on the game that actually works. And yeah, I mean, this has always been this certain set of players that just kind of have that and always make some like waves. And this is kind of the start of that. This is the second game. Red side won the first game, and now these guys are going into the second game with a Mundos Garner Alistar comp, and it's Alistar versus Ash Lulu. So you want a lane swap. Don't want to do that at all. Except the problem is you're playing Alistar and Mundo, and like overall these guys are just rather weak level 1. And yeah, red side doesn't do anything. Like this is probably really, I mean, it's odd because someone should take ownership, regardless of whoever it is, because all these guys have more than enough experience to actually like talk about it and think about it. And yeah, like, why didn't we just get wards on top side to ensure the lanes we want? They didn't do it. And don't get me wrong, sometimes it just doesn't work that way, but like, you for sure should get the standard top wards to see if there's a lane swap. They didn't. And then when they went into bot side, they just did this weak ward here versus warding the Raptors. And now we just, like, this guy's just going to take his whole bot side. Because you have no idea he's just sitting there. If they had a ward there and he knew it was there, honestly, Sejuani and Lulu could probably push him off. They probably could. But they don't do that. Okay, so that's out of the question. We're starting blue. You know, especially if you think there might be a lane swap, you also might prefer starting Wolves. Clear the Wolves, run into bot side, get the camps, whatever. Not happening. They see Skarner now they know what's happening. He's starting on blue. It's kind of too late. So now we're playing to zone. Philip has this, like, unique position. Funny enough, if he actually... Let's see if they check the dot brush. Funny enough, if he did the position with the dot brush, because this is probably the first one you would check. Maybe, like, the Corki checks this. Like, whatever the case is. But if he started it here, he actually would have gotten a ton of value. Unfortunately, they did not check that, but they checked this area first. Found him, lost a ton of HP, but he got the melees. Okay, lost half his HP, the other guy didn't lose half his HP. This was bad because he walked up, pressing E, and at first it's fine to get the XP, right? But the fact he's trying to stun this guy is not correct, so... yeah, he dies. That's rough. The Hawk is like okay, especially because like they didn't ward. They wanted to keep staying on the bot turret. And this is where we're gonna have like an option. So once this wave crashes, the next wave is the cannon wave. There is a potential, if they want to swap out of this now. They could try to swap out of this. Like, these guys would obviously back off right away and take their bases. If Corki can lane versus Jax, he could stay top, and the Alistar goes bot to recover the Mundo, though I don't think that 2v2 really does anything, so it's not really ideal. You'd have to full like move your bot lane. Especially because he got a kill, so like he has some juice, you know? Or option 2, since this guy's clearing up, they don't know this guy cleared up, I believe. You play for the gank and the pull. The only downside is that these guys are still 2v1ing. The Mundo won't die, but you're losing plates. Like, they're just steadily losing plates, so in their eyes, like, they have to make a decision on whether they want to kill the flashless Jax on the bounce back, and then play for that advantage, or do you want to swap and stop this whole, like, plate situation? So they don't take this one on the first cannon wave, so now things are a little bit delayed. These guys get to keep hitting, and then we also, and since we're turning the wave as well, we can't gank the Jax or kill the Jax, so the Jax is not being punished. The Mundo is feasting in a way, maybe not as much as like, you know, you'd hope, but like he's definitely getting more last hits than Jax. So now they take their base. Philip grows the wave. These guys, they get whatever left they have to get left, and then they base.
You're looking to see Instinct be able to get more out of the lane swap than Wixie will be able to, and you're specifically looking for Bradley to be able to win that lane matchup against Dun. I think that's a very important lane matchup in the mid lane here. If we're going to see a bad mid lane situation, or at least a neutral mid lane situation, I do think that favors friendly fellas. So we'll see. But Orion can be quite annoying to try and punish early on in these games.
So Corki fast push, deny whatever CS he could. Ashe has tier 2 boots, so she's vibing. These guys start the dragon. It's kind of spooky. I mean, it's like you don't have mid control yet, so like technically, and the wave is like not in like, Ori doesn't really want to do anything. Like she doesn't necessarily really want to move her fights like Aurora does. Now, should they have a ward on dragon just in case? I mean, they have the shrine buff. No ward on Seju. Aurora does have a ward, but it's like she's not gonna move that far out. They make note. Then they collapse. So Trevor gets pounced on first, which does not matter. So you used your CC on Trevor, which is like, yeah, like I said, it doesn't matter. They die, and yeah. Then he obviously is like, oh my god, he can't take this dragon, it's mine. But like, you know, it's theirs. Like, this shouldn't be dropped, right? Like the Seju goes right back on. Bradley's like helping with it, or Bradley's hitting base, right? It's his base timer, just base, you have no mana. And I mean, you're never gonna kill them by chasing this way. Lulu just helps you. And yeah, that's it. Like when this guy moves this way, again, sure, I guess we get the flash. The Corki gets jebaited, dead. And then they, like, doubling down on the dragon, honestly, I feel like is just awful. Like, I feel like if I'm Skarner, like, if this guy wants to do this shit, or whatever the case is, if he's running this way, just move up. Just path up. Or if you know that this guy went back mid, which he's doing now, and he has no mana, and I have a resource advantage, run to his raptors. Like, go take his raptors, and then go into grubs. And if you don't want to take his raptors, like, whatever. Like, the Mundo has TP to come back for this situation. The Alistar should be moving straight to the grubs, because these guys are gonna base. Look at their HP. Like, there's just a whole bunch of options laid out for blue side, and they're not doing any of it. Like, and maybe the idea for Alistar is that he's going bot to stop the crash, that's fine. If he can actually successfully stop the crash and save Corki the CS, that's great. But so we do the dragon, and at the same time, you know, when does he see this guy going back around for the drag? Now. Okay. So he gets canceled. Sucks, whatever. Base run to the grubs. That's going to be his goal. Lulu also can kind of just chuck a base at this point. Like, I know Alistar's here. Maybe it's threatening. Maybe she's needed, honestly, looking at it. God, man, I really want him to chuck, like, really just want him to base, though. Also, if they're looking to crash this, can they actually crash it because of the mid-jungle coming down? I guess if you know these guys are staying at this point, you might as well just walk around, and then, like, these guys go for it, and then if they try to fight the Corki so far away, you're fine. I guess that's just how you have to play it. Because you want to get your bot lane to base, and your jungler doesn't want to stick around. I mean, that's for sure. And your Aurora needs to base as well. Like, everyone has to, like, do something. And then Trevor doesn't take his base, so it's like, okay, well, if he did, this would have been amazing, especially because Aurora got a free base. But we didn't land it. And now we're, like, lane locked. Now suddenly red side bot lane is lane locked. And then we still run downward to kill them. But it's like, I guess like they have to kind of do this because the bot lane screwed up. So Seju's coming down. Like I mean, it is what it is, you know. It is what it is. It is what it is, man. But is that even, like, that amazing for them?
As for builds, nothing out of the ordinary just yet. Basically everything we would expect from these champions. Tyson staying in lane, bit low. But the fights have definitely started coming quick and fast. About a 1.5k gold lead here for Citadel. They're gonna be able to hang on to that. Bradley looks like he's just gonna be catching this wave in the bot lane. It's gonna be difficult for Wixie and Tyson to be able to punch this really at any.
Why did my Alistar not base?
Not gonna come out from the out. Ends up being a 1-for-1. He's getting low, but it's actually Wixie who's getting even lower. Trevor and
Alistar just runs over, hides behind the wall, and hits B. I don't know what he's doing. He should just base. Like, he should just get tempo on the map to head towards top side.
As for builds, nothing out of the ordinary just yet. Basically everything we would expect from these champions. Tyson staying in lane, bit low. But the fights have definitely started coming quick and fast. About a 1.5k gold
We pull the grubs, but we don't have support. They have support, so that becomes a no play. And the Ashe went mid. So far, red side has an advantage. Okay, red side has an advantage. Okay. I'm actually genuinely curious how they win this game. I really am curious how they win this game. Because the bot lane, obviously they want to swap back into bot and lane lock these guys, right? I think fishing for the ulti and going for this kind of play, it's like, I mean, Bradley can never do anything, right? I mean, he ended up having the flash because, like, yeah, he could get comboed. So, like, to me, these guys are already screwed in bot. Like, you don't need to do anything. The bot lane just needs to walk. Your mid laner just needs to go mid and then wait for his TP, and you're chilling. That's it. That's all you have to do. And if the bot lane chucks a base on a non-cannon, then they lose a wave and you get to hit the bot turret, which is amazing. So they kind of like just rush things for no reason, especially because Seju's not even in this situation, involved in the play. And these guys get a little bit back. Oh, he dies too? Wow. Yeah, they really screwed that play up. Man, they really screwed that one up. I mean, these guys are going to crash bot. We're waiting on Ashar. So Seju's just doing camps, waiting for that to happen. She could clear all the way up if she really wants to. But the Corki has no cleanse. When does Grubs come up? 2 minutes? I wonder if it's worth it for Seju to go bot at this point. Like, you're up a reasonable amount of camps and he knows this. It could be pretty beneficial. Top is like not, this top's like going okay, not amazing. So he has Heartsteel. So if he's farming for Heartsteel, I'm like okay with doing nothing.
Gold just continues to get wider, and a lot of that gold is on the said line.
Because if he gets it, it's like, okay, great. Now I get to start stacking. He had enough for a pink on the afterwards. So yeah, I guess he had just enough for it, for doing that. So that's cool. That's fine.
Grab a sip of water here. As I do that, Turret gets knocked out and takes a bit of damage, but nothing too consequential.
Drag up in 40.
As I do that, Turret gets knocked out and takes a bit of damage, but nothing too consequential. Oh, we got the Ash Arrow coming out. It's gonna land on Wixie. The damage is not quite there, though.
Got them super low. Diveable. Sejuani is going through mid first. Probably could have gone through bot first, honestly, looking at this. I mean, Aurora has R, so she's never going to die. And it puts you in just a better spot. I don't know if they've... Ooh. Ooh, Skarner showed on this, too. Yeah. I mean, if you go through mid, you can maybe catch the Skarner making a play on Aurora, which is like, I guess that's the one thing. But Bradley doesn't really need to put himself in a bad position, so if he goes through bot, especially because these guys were, like, still waiting on sums, it could have been better. So dead. And we're hitting bot turret. Drag's in 15, but once this play comes out, they need a base, so like they can't start drag quite yet. Aurora's gonna base TP. I mean, he's just screwing around then. I don't know what he's doing here, Bradley, but like if he gets this wave crashed, he should just fog, base with his bot lane, and he doesn't need to burn his TP and he saves it. And it's like the best world. So now he does have to burn it, which kind of sucks. And then they just, I guess they just rush it. That's it. I mean, there's no rush. Like, yes, they can start the drag. It's one of the worst. It's one of the spookiest drags to start. If you don't have the damage early on, because you know the ocean drag just slows you and pulls things, like pulls you around. Especially if you have to retreat, someone sometimes just gets screwed over. But they kind of just rush it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they still lost the fight, but it should never be that close. You know, like, here's Bradley. Let me slow this down. They want to fight over this dragon. This is a priority dragon for both of these teams. I think he got Q can't. I think Armeo Q'd the Alistar W. So the combo didn't really finish out, so Bradley didn't get clipped right away. Onto the back line. He's gonna get super low, super fast, but the execute's not gonna come out. Armeo in the middle of 4. He is so tanky on the Sejuani with suppression. The ultimate's gonna come in on Bradley. They're gonna be able to pick him off. The Corki picks up the kill. A fantastic Alistar engage, a 3-man knockup, and it's going to be Wixie flashing in to try to get the kills, but it's Armeo turning things. I don't know. Probably easy if I just do it 1 times. On the Aurora, they want to fight over this dragon. This is a priority dragon for both of these teams. No. No, he didn't. The R just dodges the Q. That's all. And then the Q comes and cancels the Skarner E. Onto Wixie. Onto the back line. Skarner has flash. Bradley does not have flash. Bradley on the Aurora. They want to fight over this dragon. This is a priority dragon for both of these teams. Oh, yo, this guy should just not go on the... Why is he going on the Seju? He should literally just go towards Bradley. Because he has no flash. He has W, but, like, you have flash. You can get him always. So, for sure, it's obviously bad. Right? I mean, they're clearly going way too early. But this guy should get more punished. And that's why this turns in, like, a little bit more awkward. And then Orianna's just kind of in a weird spot. Honestly, if he moved the Q here and triple Oriard these guys, this definitely could have been worse. Though I'm wondering if they would even kill Bradley if not for the shockwave damage. But Dual King goes back in, and it's fine. I mean, they're going to be able to pick him off. The Corki picks up the kill. A fantastic Alistar engaging. 3-man knockup. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, maybe Instinct could have held his flash a little longer. Also, technically, when this fight ends, like right here, he should just... You should just keep running at them.
Turning things around.
There's no more threat.
Absolutely unbelievable fight for Instinct and Armeo as they were able to turn what looked like
But
short
okay,
for
so
Citadel.
they kill these guys, quadra kill for fucking Armeo, which is insane. Grubs are coming up, so we're playing for Grubs as blue side. 100% we're playing for Grubs. It probably makes most sense to even send Ori bot lane and our duo mid lane so we can play for the Grubs. It feels really weird not. I mean, like, they won't catch him in the standard way. That's obvious. So their bot lane stayed, and red side put themselves in a position where they can play for this, and Moose Hater just didn't pay attention, so he just died. How did they lose? I'm so confused on how they lost. Because right now, they're vibing. Like, they're really vibing.
It's very difficult to deal with. If you have Skarner with a really nice engage or an Alistar that can really get a nice engage into like a 4-man knockup or something like that, or Skarner can land on the 3 people and get a 3-man ultimate, then all of a sudden you're looking at Orianna Shockwave and 4K damage being a lot to deal with. But Philip's actually gonna get caught out here. He's going to be able to take down the tower. He's gonna jump out. Is he going to be able to get the X
Philip just kills himself? Is that what happens? Okay, so he lived.
Somehow, some way gonna be able to make it out of there. Very funny stuff. A lot used by Jax to get out, but certainly worth it for him. And we'll continue to push bot side. Bradley will continue to push the mid lane.
Harold's up in a minute.
Just some more division clearing here from Tyson. Oh, and looks like Wiggly is going to not engage, not look aggressive here. Bradley going to risk a bit of damage in order to secure that mid lane tier 1.
They even take the mid turret.
We are looking at 5K gold lead for Citadel here at 15 minutes.
So practically all outer turrets are gone before Herald spawns. That's amazing. I need Armeo to be like, I mean, he can delay it. I don't know if he's also like fishing for a item at this point, which it looks like he is. Yeah, it's probably fine. Like, ideally, I would just hit this on spawn, because it really doesn't matter. Like, you could just start booking to it now with your laners being on the map first. Because I don't really like that his base is so staggered. Like, I'm cool doing the wolves, but like after this, if he literally just books it over here, they'll just take it. Like, they'll get wards in the or top jungle, take the Herald on spawn, base. Maybe you can even take this turret during that time frame. Base, run bot side, get the rest of these camps, and just continue the game. Because Otacons can be on bot side as well, so it's like starting that up is kind of nice. But he plays for his item. Things are a little delayed. Okay, semi-delayed. Still doing it. Got it. Philip possibly inting. I would say for Citadel in the draft, and you know what, very much has been working out for them, even if it's not necessarily reflective on the scoreboard. Bradley's kind of been used to getting those ADCS leads so far today. Not the case in this one, but still being very useful. Again, when I think of what Friendly Fellas has to do in this one to be able to bring it back, it all comes down to just surviving into the late game. If you can get to the teamfight stage, I do think that there is a way to be able to. Dragon's coming up. Aurora has TP.
We've seen some ruinous icon games earlier today. We will see if we see any voracious. Armeo's going to engage here onto Wixie.
We're using our skills. How soon? It's 30 seconds before drag spawn, so this must be a good pick.
Tyson's gonna be the one to pay dearly for that overstep, though. Instinct is on a killing spree. He's gonna be able to take him down. And Armeo's not done. He's gonna keep going. He is not fearful. He is a 7 kill set 20. They have to Skarner ult him just to keep him from breaching the backline. The Orianna Shockwave is good, but Philip has arrived. He jumps.
Wait, what's our goal? What's the goal on the map? Like, when these guys contest this, do they know that Skarner's not here? No. Skarner could be there. Mundo also should just be shifting mid on this timer, so Mundo would be there, Skarner could be here, and our Aurora wants the base. So Ori could TP. Technically, this timer is, you're saying you can do this because you're so strong. That's the only reason why you would do this as red side. But honestly, would you not just play this slower? Like, I'm cool like running at them and like chasing them off and creating a situation. And if you want to leave it as this, where it's like, okay, we kill the Alistar, that's it. Like, you don't go further than this. Like, this is just kind of like just being overzealous, you know? And now they lose a whole bunch of their conditions, which sucks. I don't know if that leads to them like being able to take the drag still, like, or like, sorry, blue side being able to even contest the drag.
in a bad spot. Moose Hater in a bad spot. Does get a flash over the wall, but he's going to meet an Aurora, but has actually get knocked up. Bradley is going to get knocked off of his game. He's going to get stunned into the wall, and he's going to be taken down. It is a 1-for-1. At this point, Trevor's getting low, but Dragon was taken. It looks like that is all Citadel.
Man, all they need is 2 more drags, and the Otacon's spawning on bot side.
Overall, for Citadel, still not the worst exchange in the entire world.
I don't know. It's just very weird. Like, it would be nice.
The push coming out, the arrow is just barely gonna go wide. If that landed on Wixie, that could have been a big problem for friendly fellas, but it is gonna go wide, not going to land.
Yeah, I don't know. I was gonna say, it'd be nice to think about, like, possibilities of, like, where someone could be, why you shouldn't full contest, but... How the fuck did... There's no way these guys win this, right?
Does a great job controlling the map, and they showcase that with a 2-for-0 and picking up mid lane tier 2 there. Another really great play coming in from Citadel, and this gold lead is getting out of control. 39 to 32. Very difficult to come back from a 7k gold lead, and that gold is starting to find its way into the right places. Instinct getting a double kill in that fight, really starting to accelerate a lot of that.
Because right now, the way Red Side is playing is they're just chucking their CC on mid waves, getting sums, getting kills, which means that Blue Side should be playing more reserved. Like, they should be. They should be more reserved. Especially if Skarner's not going to be, like, just hovering all the time. The Mundo is, like, doing well. Like, he's in a great spot to just play the game.
This Sed 20 is a problem. They have no answer to the lockdown. Skarner is chunked for over 3/4 of his health. He's gonna have to run away. He's not in a great spot. All of this while Bradley is just pushing topside. That could be a free outcome.
I mean, it's just rough. I mean, like, the Skarner's showing on the mid wave to give, like, a boost, but in the end of the day, it just... This doesn't really do anything. Are they getting debated? Is this a bait? Oh my god, it's a fucking bait. That's too fucking funny. So again, Otacon's open, right, guys? Do we need to use our spells on midwave as red side? Are they inting? I mean, that's really all you need to ask. Also, should Bradley even go back topside? No. He shouldn't. What's the point? This is the wave you're playing for, right? Stay here. Stay here, everyone converges, and if they int, we kill them. And so far, they have been. They kind of have been inting. Like, imagine if Bradley's here. If Bradley's here, this is just it. The Corki has no flash on Skarner. This is just, like, this is not legal by any means, but because you're just so, you know, people get really, like, focused on mid-max. So it's like, oh, dude, well, if I go topside and I push this in, I could be hitting the turret, and what are they going to do? You know, like, they're going to send someone late. But just keep in mind, like, when you do that, like, you will miss certain opportunities. Like, so do you need to go as hard as you do on mid-wave? No! Not at all. Like, you can chunk this guy, I guess. Cool, we chunk him. I guess that's what we do. Cool. Alright, that's it. We don't have ultis. Do we want to pull the Otacon? I mean, this is it. We don't need to overchase into vision we don't have. Like, you could take it as, okay, once this guy, like, starts dipping, don't go past here, run back. But now they're fresh on base, and we don't have our key turning ultis, so we don't really want to pull it. You see what I mean? Like, I'd prefer using these spells if she's there. If she's not there, just play it slow. You're going to get the vision anyways, and then you pull this, and then when they come in, use your ultis. And that's it. That's all they got to do. Bada bing, bada boom. Like, even if, like, it does at times, like, it yields kills, like, long term, like, it just needs to be better. Yeah, Bradley is definitely eating on top side, but here's the thing. How does Blue Side get back into the game? Blue Side, come back. How the hell did they get back into this game? There is a game that I remember that, and honestly, looking back at it, I really did have the wrong idea. Because it was against Sword, when Sword was on TSM Academy. And at that time, Sword would sack a ton of CS. Haunter would eat everything. And they would play 2 lanes exclusive, and Sword would always be down levels, XP, and that was it. But the problem is, if that you always send your mid laner to the side he's not, like, the Sword's not answering, yeah, your guy's growing, but then you have to be super careful on your contests and have a lot of discipline as the other 4 core because you're facing a 5v4. And so that's the problem that Red Side right now is dealing with. Like, you yourself could match it, and if you match it, you'll win. Why? Because your mid laner is just stronger. You know? But you don't do it. So if they're doing this approach, yeah, they need more discipline. If they're doing the other approach, which can be honestly a lot easier to just match it, you win. There's no avenue for a comeback.
Thank you so much for the gold, but what a fight there overall from both Tyson and from Duro, I think. Wow. That's great.
Now that's dangerous. Starting Otacon is the losing side, but I get it. They're desperate. They get it. And now they're playing for the fight. I think the Mundo just leaves. They can't win this, right? Surely not. No. Definitely not winnable. They should have had the realization that they should just run. And also, even taking Otacon there, it probably was not worth it. Like, you're not really getting in a good position to stack drags, and you have to play for the fight, so the chances of you being able to just, like, bulldoze and take all the petals, not likely. So look, they still lose the drag. We're still on progress to get a soul as red side. So surely 5 minutes, hold the map, take the soul, win the game. That's it. That's all they gotta do.
We get a map reset now. Not a lot to play for at the current moment. We have Baron spawning in 25 seconds. That's definitely going to be a priority for both of these teams. I think if you're friendly fellas, you know, the game's a really bad spot. If you end up getting over that Baron, you end up being in a position where you don't really have a way to stop push. You've got Jax and Aurora on the other side. Ash pushes very
Funny enough, Mundo is like not the worst at clearing supers.
It just ends up becoming a very difficult situation if you have to play around a Baron buff. And so I think that this is something that
Quite a fortunate situation to be in.
Looks like we'll be started on cooldown. Bradley is bot lane, pulling attention from Orianna. The Baron has been started right now with Armeo Instinct. Tyson is going to be walking up. Seeing if he can spot it. It's already down to 7k. Really no way for Moose Eater to get in. The Ash Arrow is going to land after they pop the spell.
They just made the biggest mistake, man. God damn it. No. 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 Okay, we're gonna go slow on this, but look. You start the Baron. Aurora, you already did more than enough to Orianna. Fog, chill, right? I mean, technically she could shift now, which actually would be way better. Again, like, we're trying to do this thing where we're dancing on the bot wave as Bradley, but really, if he just shifted, took over mid, or just hid even, like are in this area, and these walk in, and then Aurora just blasts them, it's over. That's it. Like, there's so much, like, opportunity for Bradley to just win this game if he just plays the map differently, and he's not. But even then, you know, we pull it, right? We're pulling the Baron. Phillips on the flank. Aurora needs to be in an opportunity to TP. Once they start showing, Aurora should TP now. Like, TP now. Just come. Don't wait. Don't wait for it to progress. Just come now. Like, just secure it. This guy looks like he's caught initially. And they see this guy walking up too. So, I mean, Philip just needs to, like, hit the vision plant and go on the Mundo. And that's it. And if you want to peel off to hit him, that's fine. But once he leaves, Armeo stays on the Baron. The Aurora's TP's already in, and this guy's shoved out. And that's it. Like, Philip just has to hit the blast cone this way. So he doesn't have to queue onto this guy. But once you do it, like, once they start committing all their CDs, like, look how far this Mundo got before, like, anything happened. Like, they know this is happening. He has no vision, by the way. This is, like, he sees, like, I guess they see this, technically, because of Duo King. So they see, like, this. But once he starts moving, this guy has to back off. And then maybe Philip can just sit on here. And, yeah, this guy's going to try to take more space. But then Philip can go on them. And then they can do a really quick turn. Okay, this looks so terrible. But, like, basically, he'll have to retreat. Philip sits here, and he can either go this way or this way. And since these guys are going to gain more confidence to walk in initially, because they're moving away, they have really good, like, engage tools. Like, you could even TP, like, I can't tell if there's a TP here or not, a ward there. But, like, even the Aurora could just start TPing now even, and you just send it. Like, there's a variety of options here laid out for red side, and they kind of just goofed completely. because the Mundo's like now rejoining the team, which shouldn't have happened. And then we arrow him, and obviously he has like, he's tanky. Like we can't just one-shot him, right? So can't one-shot him. That's not ideal. Roy TP comes in. Aurora throws her fat R, and there's a ton of people here, so like the R is good. Why is our male running? I mean, like, how fightable is this despite me not liking how this progressed? Oh, he fucking... Ah, man! Like, you know, I'm just gonna say this right now. Seju doesn't need to send his body, by the way. Like, if Seju sits here, and these guys commit, Seju's gonna throw her R over and start zoning the entire, like, backside. And Aurora can actually push through. Like, if the Alistar and Skarner commit into this, they're gonna get murdered because everyone's gonna back up, and then the Seju can actually, like, screw with the back line. Even just, she could just throw an R even, and it'd be more than enough. So even though this fight was, like, not my most ideal, like, look, it's still very, very winnable because obviously Red Side's so strong. But instead what happens, because look what's happening to the Skarner, right? Look what happens to the Skarner. He goes in, and like he just starts getting blasted, right? And it's like, okay, this sucks. And now even now after everything like chilled out, that's it. Like, this guy's really low. He doesn't have R. You don't have to go any further. That's it. Dude, does this guy have flash? Or he does have flash. Armeo could actually get the flash of Orianna right now, and Orianna's dead. Like, this is actually the Inter right now. This guy, like, went a separate way, he'll die. Why did Philip Q? And then Armeo went way too far ahead, so, like, he's not fighting correctly. And then this debated his dual lane to kind of go in. And then now, Philip baits himself because the Corki had flash, and all of a sudden, all these guys died. And not a single person died on blue side. Wow. Wow. I gotta say though, you know, when this situation's coming, you know, I love that he kicks the Ashe out to give separation. Saves his Q for a while, so the Corki keep hitting. The Orianna is like completely like messing with these guys, especially because Philip screwed up here, right? So like he's flashing away. So now this Orianna's entertaining this. He's coming back to assist them. They commit. He overcommits. They don't even realize this at first. He overcommits. Now that Orianna's in a good positioning. Woohoo! Oh man, that's rough. That is so rough. In their favor when it looked like all hope was lost. In that regard, brilliantly played here by Friendly Fellas. That was really, really great stuff. Great damage coming in from Wixie, who has been very good throughout the majority of this game. And it's gonna be the Baron start. Now, this is not the safest Baron in the world. All 5 members are there. Armeo does have a way to get into the pit. Looks like they are going to attempt to try and get in there and steal this. It's down to 6,000. Will we see Armeo go in? Will we see him attempt for the steal? The Ashe Arrow's gonna come out. It will be smited down by Wiggly, and that will be. And they took Baron. So this Baron's gonna help them recover the top inhib. It'll probably be just enough to stabilize the game leading up to the Soul. Like, they're not going to really progress, probably, at all on the map, but they will be in a fighting position for the Soul. They are able to secure the Baron, though, and that should stabilize them. In the short term, the gold league has definitely become a lot more manageable. For a team that I think does have a very straightforward front to back, if you are going to play these fights the way that they did, I think you've actually got a real shot at being able to pick this up, so. Bradley? Ton of damage made on that Aurora. That champion just does so much. Alright, what do you guys in chat think? What do we think of this game? What do we think of the game state? Citadel Riles. Indeed. Indeed, Citadel Riles. BBQ Olivers. So here we go. Shout out BBQ Olivers. So the first thing I need to ask when we're looking at this situation, especially because like we just took the red, right? We have 4 wards. So we should have lit up the bot side like entirely. Like there should be more wards than this on bot side. I don't know. Wow, that was or Nexus Tower. Great stuff there, obviously, for oh wait.
that's a 5-man Baron for the side of Friendly Fellas.
Why is his base so delayed? Yeah, you just base now. You have no wards. I don't know what the Lulu's doing, but the Lulu's like inting like crazy here. Like, he wasted a good 20-30 seconds to do his base, which is like just like absolutely useless. And he should have already been on bot side to lit up the bot side, like the jungle. These guys will sweep it. The Lulu will base again, come back. They will get vision once again. And there's nothing blue side can do about it. Because right now, like, technically, like, even now, the Lulu should base. Like, he should have gotten his vision and he should have based once again. So, they don't have as good as vision as they should. And what is Bradley doing? Bradley just go join the team. Like, at this point, he can hold the flank and try. And he's just poised to fight. What is Philip doing? Philip is joining the team 48 seconds before.
What do we think of the game state? Citadel riles. Indeed. Indeed, Citadel riles. BBQ Olivers. ADC, true?
I don't know.
BBQ Olivers?
I mean, these guys end up getting the wave. And it looks like they're really struggling to just hold vision. Orianna has no flash, by the way. Oh, dude, this guy's fucking inting. Dude, just Ash Arrow this now. There's no way this Skarner's gonna stop this. None of these guys have flash, by the way. Like, this is like a really... Flash on, no flash, no flash, no flash. Like, look where the Alistar is. Where's the Mundo? Look where the Mundo is. Oh, sorry, is this the Alistar? Oh, this is the Skarner. The Skarner, Alistar, and the Mundo's up here. All your tanks are away from this Orianna. This Orianna is completely out there. And she doesn't die here. Now we throw the arrow, but the arrow, like, just throw the Aurora R right away. Like, you just need the pick. Like, Aurora R. Okay. Then the Ashe can just keep slowly walking up. They're going to aim for the Ashe, and the Ashe has flash, so basically the Ashe will just flash any CC that happens, and they're screwed. Like, if these guys get pulled in here when the Ashe walks up to get a better position on this, she's going to flash down. And the Jax is going to be on your Corki's ass, and he has to get out. He must get out. Meanwhile, the Sedge's is also just right there, who's probably going to get Luluard. Like, again, this is such a good fight situation for red side, and they completely fumble it. Like, why did we save our Aurora for so long? I don't know. And now suddenly we find ourselves, like, deep in this, like, fight. Somehow they all manage, like, wow, how does this happen, man? How does this actually happen? Like, I don't think the Orianna even realizes, like, how scary this is. Like, if Orianna was sitting here, this would be fine. It'd be okay. But she's, like, just too far. And Philip should just be on this Corki's ass, by the way. Like, just stay on the Corki, bro. Stay on the Corki. This guy's no flash, just stay on him. The Sedge should... Did she throw R? What's Sedge doing? Is the Sedge throw her R yet? Is it a spec bug? Do you still have it? Does he still have his R?
Shout out Ignar. I can't remember anybody else from that team, but shout out Ignar.
Because he should just latch onto this guy, too. If you want the Corki to full hit him, fine, whatever. So be it. Full hit me. I don't care. I don't know. It's wild. There's some weird shit happening here. Some weird shit happening here. Oh, there were so many options, man. There were so many options to make that work.
Wow. Armeo just clear in vision. Not a ton to play for on the map right now. This is probably gonna be a low state.
Someone needs the balls to actually like know when they're inting and commit to it. I think that's the problem I'm seeing on the red side team is like no one has that recognition. Armeo doesn't have it. Philip didn't really have it necessarily there. He had a really good flank position, but it didn't really end the way he wanted it. Bradley didn't have it. Instinct kind of saw what had to happen, but he missed. And that's because Bradley didn't set it up well.
know it sounds easier said than done, right? But Bradley's stepping up a little far here. Wiggly is going to look to try and capitalize. Not going to be able to land the stun. Bradley is going to get smited.
And, you know, I'm saying, like, because, yeah, obviously red side has to make a ton of mistakes for blue side to even be in this position, right? Like, the difference was ridiculous in gold. But I will say that for blue side, they're at least retreating the right ways to pull red side in. And if they recognize this and, like, they're realizing, like, man, these guys are kind of, like, just over diving a lot, and we can kind of bait them in. Good on them. I mean, it's always hard to tell if, like, it's something they're recognizing and doing purposely, or it's just like, oh shit, we're out of position. Oh no, we gotta, like, you know, retreat, whatever the case is. But yeah, if it's the former, like, very impressive to just, like, get that going endlessly. See, I don't get this, man. This is so weird. Oh my god. Like, look at leading into this. Again, my Ashe is really strong. The Corki's very strong too, by the way. At this point, the Corki's very, very strong. God, I hate... Oh man, the Aurora build is awful. That guy is not doing shit. Build is awful. But so, like, they're trying to screw up the Mundo. The thing is, they're never gonna kill the Mundo. Like, they will never kill him. So you're never gonna kill the Mundo. We now lose ground because we're sending 2 people to 2v1 the Mundo. We're now gonna try to 3v4 these guys. And does Trevor not have flash? He just flashed backwards, so he got caught. And these guys die! And it's like, hello? Hello? And in the Mundo, obviously, he's just, like, stopping their backs. So now they get another Baron. Actually, he's kind of like 1v2. Like, he's actually semi-winning 1v2. Huh. And then Instinct goes to help them, but it's like, I mean, Instinct dies. Okay, so Instinct dies. Now they take the Dragon. Okay, now we got the Dragon and a second Baron. Man, their side laning and assignments were just terrible, or just not great by red side. And then their fight execution was just poor. Yeah, what do they do? I mean, they get some long chases, I guess. Like, cool, we got some long chases, it progresses. Wait, this turns around? Oh, shit, I see. So, Moose Hater sees... I don't know if they recognize there's being a TP down here, but because they're chasing like this, he definitely saw the TP then. He pushes in. So the Ashe has the back for this. But the Ashe can't kill him. Oh man, that was close. But it bought enough time for them to get the map back. And you progress this towards next drag. They got it, and they have soul. How are they contesting this without anything happening? I mean, Philip literally pushed this, so Philip should now just move to the bot side. Like, he can't fight the Mundo anyways, he's too weak. So might as well just join the team, right? Then would be 5 stack on mid wave. We sack the top tier 2. If we have to sack the top ender, so be it. But they full send it on Mundo, who is able to TP away, and they get the Dragon. And now the Mundo's just like a complete, utter monster. I mean, this guy's been a monster for a bit, but like, he's just a huge, huge problem. What is Bradley doing? Bradley's build is so shit, like, he's not gonna kill anyone. So, now they're overestimating their damage at this point in the game, and they get murdered, and that's the game. Wow, I mean, okay, wow. There is certain moments where I thought, like, I'll be honest, for red side, For red side, my thing with them is like their level 1 could be way better. I think like their ulti usage at times was kind of poor. Like the timing, like a lot of it has to do with the timing for me, and their lane assignments and shifts were not ideal. And same with their like fight execution. Like they had a lot of stuff like just going poorly for them, even though they were up a ton of gold, because I mean, these guys were just making poor decisions in the early game. They were just making poor decisions. Like that dragon was just a poor decision. And it just led to bad things. Meanwhile, for blue side, you know, I think the wave 4 bounce back is definitely something they should consider like fixing. Obviously, the first drag put them on a bad path. And then they were kind of just like in the hole for a long time. They kind of had some poor positioning, not gonna lie. Like good teams will like punish this better. But they were doing well with the pullbacks, you know? Like tactical retreats. Let's call that. That was good. The tactical retreats were good. And honestly, like Moose Hater like did pull a lot of like attention inside. Like Duo King had like good like patience when for situations. And they kind of just like pulled it together from there. Like the Corgi got super big to the point like, yeah, he was just like a problem. Like they just couldn't really deal with it. So obviously red side has to mess up for blue side to even come close to winning, but in the end of the day, like once that momentum changed over to blue side, that they did execute it better. That's for sure. They did execute it better. I guess we'll see what the last game looks like.